going on YouTube? This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors bringing you guys another video. Guys, this video is well overdue. Does a bigger air intake give you more horsepower? Will this bigger cone give me more horsepower than that cone? So without further ado, here we go. All right, guys, so pretty much, as you can see, I have this big air intake in my car. So as you can see, I'm not someone who just puts apart my car and shout out numbers. I'm someone who goes above and beyond. I try out different parts. I try out different sizes of anything I can find to see how I can squeeze horsepower into my vehicle. I think I have the most mods on my video other than the super big turbo. So if you're looking for performance parts and tips, make sure you watch my tune and performance playlist and you subscribe to the channel. So as you can see, guys, my whole experiment was, can I get more horsepower to my car? I searched on the forums. No one talked about, does a bigger air intake give you more horsepower? So I decided to do test. So I ran a test on this K&N air filter. This is going to be a traditional cold air intake that will come with a CTS intake kit. And when I say traditional, I'm speaking of the size. And this is actually an aftermarket Spectrum, just really cheap, affordable air intake. You can get this at AutoZone, O'Reilly. So before I get to this big one, you won't believe that this Spectrum actually pulls more air in than this K&N. I know it's crazy. This K&N is roughly around 59 bucks. And the Spectrum is probably around $19.99 to 29 bucks. And I think it's probably because it has this extra little cone at the top where it can suck in a lot of more air. But just from my test on those two, that one actually won. Essentially what I did is I got the biggest K&N filter that I can find that can fit in my vehicle. As you guys know from my vehicle, that K&N actually goes right down there. So the engine, it swerves down here and goes here. And then it just basically, you know, comes right through my vent right there. So I get the best air circulation that I need. That's why you don't see my underlay under there. I actually took it out just so I can get more air circulation in my vehicle. So guys, this air intake gave me about 8 to 10 more horsepower on my vehicle. So I ran a test on my Torque app. I ran a test at a dyno shop, and I ran a test on my Real Dash Pro app, which all give me the fundamentals and the number of air circulation and horsepower. So this did give me more horsepower to my car. When you look at big builds, they generally will have a super big air intake. Like for example, if you look at the RS3, just in general, it comes with a really big air intake aftermarket because the car requires a lot of airflow to go right through it. So you have to make sure though, once you start getting to this level of getting a bigger air intake in your vehicle, that you actually have the fuel to match it. As you guys know from my other video, I have Audi A3 injectors in here to be able to handle this airflow, because you can pull in as much air as you possibly can, but you need to be able to feed it with fuel, or you're going to end up running lean on your vehicle. And MAF, which is the mass airflow sensor, will tell the gas to match it, but if the gas just doesn't have enough fuel, then you won't be able to match it. Remember, the more air, the more fuel, the bigger the combustion, the bigger the bang, the more horsepower you have. Like I said, this was a project I was working on to just really get myself to the next level on horsepower, and it worked out great for me. Like I said, guys, I'm here for the community. I'm not just telling you guys numbers. As you can see, I have different air filters. I have different parts, and I'm just simply telling you guys what works for me. So yeah, if you guys are in the market, or if you have the room or space to get a bigger air intake, depending on whatever setup you have, go ahead and get a bigger cone. That bigger cone will provide you with more horsepower. And eventually, if you have time or you have the money to get the S3 injectors, you can add that. But ultimately, getting that extra air into your car is always a good thing. So I just want to share this video with you guys. I really appreciate all the love from the new subscribers and the support. This is Bruce with Bruce Custom Motors. Peace, I'm out.